Somewhere on your body right now, there's proof that you are not entirely human. Not in the way you think, at least. Somewhere between your ears and your toes, a stranger is hiding inside your own architecture, a creature you were never supposed to become. Scientists have a name for it, an atavism, a visitor from an evolutionary past that never officially ended. Tonight, we go looking for it, 1 inch of your body at a time.
Start at the ears. Try something. Try to move just your ear on its own without touching it. Most people can't, but some can. And it's not a trick. It's a switch that never fully turned off. Buried under your skin are 3 tiny muscles called the auricular muscles. The same muscles an animal like a cat or a horse uses to swivel its ears toward danger before its eyes even catch it. In you, they're mostly asleep, not gone, just asleep. Look closer at the shape of the ear itself, and there's a stranger clue, a small folded point near the top, present in as many as 4 out of every 10 people. Charles Darwin was the first to write about it, which is why it carries his name today. He believed it was the ghost of a once pointed ear, the kind still folded onto the heads of monkeys and apes. And then there's the strangest one of all. So rare, most people will live their whole lives without ever hearing of it. A tiny, near invisible hole just in front of the ear. Some scientists believe it isn't random. They believe it's the collapsed remains of a gill slit, a structure from a version of us that still breathed underwater. It shows up in fewer than 1 in 100 people, but in parts of Africa and Asia, it becomes dramatically more common, as if some populations simply forgot to erase it. That's just the ear. We've barely started. Move to the eyes. Hidden in the inner corner of each one is a small pink fold most people have never once looked at closely. It has a name, the Plica semilunaris, but it used to have a job. In birds, in reptiles, in half the animal kingdom, that same tissue is a working third eyelid, a transparent shield that sweeps across the eye without ever blocking the view. In you, it no longer moves, it just sits there, frozen, a shut-down eyelid still installed, never used again. Here's where it gets stranger. Run a finger along your own arm right now, and every hair on it might rise slightly. That's not nerves. It's a message being sent to muscles with nothing left to do. Once, that same reflex fluffed up a thick coat of fur, trapping warm air and making a smaller animal look larger and more dangerous to a predator. You don't have the fur anymore. Nobody told the muscles. The mouth holds an even bigger secret, one most people carry without realizing what it means. A third set of molars, built for a diet humans stopped eating long ago, back when jaws were larger and food was tougher to break down. But here's the twist. Some people are simply never given the blueprint to grow them at all. Not a single one. Somewhere between 1/4 and 1/3 of the population is quietly missing a step that used to be essential for survival. And the body gets even stranger. Along 2 faint lines running from each armpit down to the groin, a small percentage of people are born with an extra nipple, sometimes 2. It sounds impossible until you learn where that line comes from. It's the same ridge that lets a cat or a dog grow an entire row, enough to feed a litter of 6 or 8 at once. In humans, that ridge is supposed to fade completely before birth. It doesn't always. Now, touch your own wrist, bring your thumb to your pinky, and flex. If a thin tendon rises in the middle of your forearm, you're looking at the palmaris longus, a leftover grip muscle built for an ancestor who needed to swing and climb. But here's the part that should unsettle you. 10 to 15% of people don't have it at all. Not damaged, not something that broke, never grown in the first place. And the strangest part, they never notice. It's gone. The back of the leg hides its twin, a long, thin tendon called the plantaris, likely built for gripping the ground, the way a primate still grips a branch. It's so useless to modern humans that surgeons can sometimes remove it and reuse it to rebuild other parts of the body. Somewhere between 7 and 20% of people are simply born without it.
living their entire lives never knowing a piece of them was never even installed.
Even your fingers are hiding a memory. In the womb, every human hand starts out webbed, connected by tissue that's supposed to die off on command, cell by cell, until 5 separate fingers remain. Occasionally, the signal that triggers that separation never fully arrives. The result is called cutaneous syndactyly, partial webbing between the fingers or toes. It happens in roughly 1 in 2,000 births, a quiet reminder that separation was never guaranteed. It had to be built.
But nothing prepares you for what's hiding at the base of your own spine. Every human being has a tailbone, 4 or 5 small bones fused into a stub called the coccyx. It once anchored something far more dramatic, a full, functional tail used for balance and signaling. In extraordinarily rare cases, the fusion that's supposed to lock those bones together simply doesn't happen. A baby is born with a real, flexible human tail. Fewer than 50 confirmed cases exist in modern medical records, and unlike the coccyx everyone else carries, this one can sometimes move. And if that feels impossible, wait until you hear this.
Before you were born, your entire body was covered in something you've probably never heard of. Lanugo, a fine layer of soft hair meant to help regulate temperature and hold a waxy coating called vernix against developing skin. It's supposed to disappear before or shortly after birth, but in an extraordinarily rare genetic condition, it never does. A person keeps that fine coat of hair for life. For centuries, doctors gave it a nickname that sounds pulled straight from folklore: werewolf syndrome. Fewer than 100 cases have ever been documented on Earth.
One last test. Try to lift only your smallest toe, completely on its own, without moving the others. Most people physically can't do it, not from weakness, from wiring. In an animal that once needed to grip a branch with its feet, every toe had its own independent nerve pathway. In you, that fine control fused together long ago, back when feet stopped needing to climb. The nerve pathway hasn't vanished. It's just been sitting there, unused, waiting for a command that almost never comes. So the next time you feel a chill, and your arm hair rises for no reason, or you flex your wrist, and a strange tendon appears, remember what you're actually looking at. Not a flaw, not a glitch. A message sent from a version of you that existed long before you did, still running quietly beneath your skin, waiting for you to notice. It was never gone at all.
So,
Beneath the
How many
sacrum
did you
lies the
find?
coccyx,
An ear that
several
moves,
small segments.
a tendon that never grew, a fold of skin that used to be an eyelid. If even one of these traits belongs to you, you're not broken, and you're not alone. You're carrying a piece of a story that started long before recorded history. Drop a comment and tell us which one you found on yourself. You might be surprised how many other people share it. And if your body just proved it's older than you thought, subscribe, because next time, we go looking for what's hiding in your DNA.